What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Bringing It to the Ring podcast. Today, with myself, Willie, and Wolf, we got the gang back together once again. Today we're going to be doing predictions for Crown Jewel. Crown Jewel is this Saturday, and we'll also be doing fantasy booking the Elimination Chamber for next year. That's going to be taking place in March, I believe. Last time I checked, I think they're going to do Rumble in February, then Chamber in March, and then Romania in April, of course. So, I mean, it's surprising that we're not going to have a pay per view in January, but I guess hopefully that's just for this year. But we're gonna get into it with the Crown Jewel predictions first. I think the first question is to both of you guys: what is your hype level for Crown Jewel this Saturday, and what match are you looking forward to the most?
This is a hard
On,
one.
honestly, I feel much better about Crown Jewel because when we started building the card, all time low, all time low.
Yeah,
I was genuinely considering like skipping Crown Jewel. Um, but then once we actually got like 4 or 5 matches more, then I was like, okay, now I'm interested in Crown Jewel because they've made incredible matches. Um, I think what I'm most excited for is probably the 6 man tag team match regarding the bloodline. I am happy seeing the Usos back together. Um, I along with Roman, I'm gonna enjoy it, even though we'll get to that later. I don't have them winning.
I mean,
Uh,
I think the thing about Crown Jewel, I mean, they never really. I think I will give a pass to an extent, not really all the way. The reason why I say that is because I feel like with Triple H, he's trying to make these pay per views feel more important, and I like the fact that he's trying to make these pay per views be important and give stakes to different matches. But like, first off, since we're on the subject, we got to talk about these titles. I've seen Willie, you were not a fan of it. Wolf is not a fan of it. Myself is not a fan of it. It's pretty much just looking to me. It feels like a mockery of the AEW championship mixed with the $1 million title,
It's
mixed
not even
with
that.
the NXT championship. It looks like a weight belt if you
Mixed with the
ask me.
24/7 title, by the way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It looks just like a weight belt. Like, could you imagine Gunther trying to hold that belt? Like literally trying to put it around his waist. It looked like it would fall off. And if
I
My
don't even. I'm gonna say this. I don't even think he's actually gonna carry it. I think he's going to hold it up and like probably like have
stomp
it
on
like
it.
what? No, he'll probably like uh whoever it is, whether it's Cody or Gunther, they'll hold it up. They'll what's it called? Take pictures with it, and then they'll give it back to Saudi.
well,
I
that's
would
the
agree
thing
with that.
with
And
me.
Raw or SmackDown, they won't even have it on them.
My
Because
thing is like my hype was also at an all-time low because they try to make it seem like these Crown Jewel championship matches is, oh my god, it means so much when it doesn't. Like
Mhm.
whoever wins this match, they're, like Wolf said, they're just going to hold it up. Oh my god, celebrate, and then we're never going to see it again, and they'll probably mention it a couple of times afterwards, and that's it. Like nothing will happen.
yeah.
And yeah, most of the card was absolutely like no,
And I think the thing is this. I
until they
think
started adding like the US title match, women's
yeah.
tag. Yeah.
Because here's the thing, and I'm definitely in agreement with you guys. I think the thing is with them doing that, it's like I was always it was an all-time low for me too, just for the simple fact that the titles didn't really mean anything. Like there's two things that's gonna happen. One, it's gonna be like similar to what Braun Strowman did when he won the Greatest World Rumble. He won that title and it's never seen the light of day
Thank you.
at all. I don't even think it's really been mentioned
Hmm.
at all when you talk about Braun Strowman and his accolades. So
Yeah, they mentioned
am
that
I
he
seeing
won the Royal Rumble, but they never mentioned that belt. again.
Exactly. And it's like I'm fearing that that's gonna be the same scenario that we're gonna see end up playing out. Maybe they end up showing it for like the Friday or the SmackDown after, depending on who wins it. If best case
They'll
scenario,
Yeah.
forget
or
about it until next year, and it's gonna
I
if
think
they
there
keep
I
it.
think that's the plan that I did see
Yeah,
that the plan is to have that title be defended every single year when they go to Saudi. If that's the case, then even though I'm not okay with it, but I think it's still, I would say, still and better than the probably the Greatest World Rumble title, because at least they're trying to make this title something. But I
yep.
just
They're
don't
trying to
like.
do it every year.
Yeah, I think they can do something else. I like the and Queen of the Ring idea, something like that, where they get
Yeah,
title matches at SummerSlam. There's actually stakes to
that
this.
that was good.
I was like, I think I was streaming, we were streaming this, and I seen that they were doing this at Bad Blood, and I'm like, why are they putting this title, introducing this title? Like, when they seen like it was about to be unveiled, I'm thinking it's about to be a women's mid card title.
That
Like,
was what I thought too.
I
I
was
I
put
hoping
that
for
phone
that
out.
too.
I was excited. I was
I
like,
had my
bro,
phone right here. My
they're
phone
gonna
was
do
right
that
ready,
in
and I
mid
was ready to
card.
tweet
Yep.
it out. I was
Yeah.
ready to tweet it on everything. Introduced the women's mid card title, but as soon as I seen that title, I put my phone right back down, and I didn't pick it back
I
up.
I
Yep.
was like, oh my god, it looks like the United States Championship. They're gonna do a women's United States Championship, and then it was like, no, it was the
Yep.
Crown Jewel
I didn't,
Championship. I
and
was
I'm
so
like,
sad.
and it's like it felt like a balloon. Like all the air just was deflated in an instant.
Yep.
Yeah,
Like, are we serious? Are we
my
serious? This is what we're trying to do.
my thing was where it was like Bad Blood. They announced this, and I was sitting there, and I was like, they're trying to hype up Crown Jewel during another pay per view. Why? Why
I
do they
mean,
care? And they got
it's the
Goldberg
one
involved, and
man.
Goldberg, like, why?
That's what I want to talk about. That's what really like got me upset, got me annoyed. What's it called? Was Goldberg's involvement. Thankfully, he's reported to not be in Riyadh on Saturday, so he's
You
not
do
going to be
realize,
involved.
knowing how Saudi is, they're gonna probably throw a lot of money at him. They could be saying that just for
They're.
the simple
He's
fact
No,
gonna
that
no,
be
I
a
think he's
last
doing
minute, bro.
something else. I think
because
he's
here's the
Probably
doing
gonna
thing,
be a
I
last
know how
minute.
Saudi is. They will pay him a lot of money. Look what they've done with him. Look what they've done with Lesnar. They will throw a hefty amount of money just
Well,
to
they
Yeah,
did
but
the
make
I'm pretty
and make
Undertaker.
this.
sure like
And
it's
they're saying
I'm
that
pretty
he's not.
sure it's like a WWE decision. They're like saying like no, Goldberg don't come to Saudi.
Because here's the
Well,
thing, I think he's probably going to be there. But here's the thing, I think what they're doing, like you said, he's not going to be there. They might be set it up to where it can be like a surprise or something like that. I feel like
yeah, I
that's how
Maybe,
think
they're
maybe
playing
they're
maybe.
it.
paying off the dirt sheets to be like, no, he's not
Could
gonna be
be,
there.
but maybe they just are pushing it until later. Maybe they want Gunther to win the crown jewel title. I don't know.
I don't
Well,
know about
since we
that.
are
Or
talking about the that match, let's get into it.
We'll
Cody
start that.
Rhodes. You said what?
I said we'll start with that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, let's start with
let's.
Cody Rhodes versus Gunther. I mean, I actually am looking forward to the match that these two are going to have, because I feel like it's really going to be good. And there is some type of story there. If we do look at the past few Rumbles that we have had, it's always really came down to Gunther and Cody has been getting the upper hand time and time again over Gunther and eliminate him from these Rumbles and everything like that. And one of the things that they've been making note of time and time again during this feud, who is the number two champion and who's the number one champion? Who is really the best of the best? I like the fact that they're trying to make mention of that. And I think what you said with the whole Goldberg thing, I do think that is going to pay a dividend. And I also think Kevin Owens could probably pay dividend, and maybe the bloodline as well. I feel like those three things are going to be the X factors for this match and who ends up winning. Because if it's for Goldberg, it's going to be against none other than
Gunther.
Gunther. If it's Kevin Owens, it's going to be against Cody. And if it's the bloodline, it's against Cody as well. So either one of those things can happen. But if we're looking at how they've been building everything up, and based on what we've seen at Bad Blood, I will say there is a possibility that we do get Gunther being cost the world title, because I think the match they're trying to set up is Gunther versus Goldberg for the world title at Saturday Night Main Event, because they're trying to make that show a pay-per-view caliber card. So as much as I
Well,
don't like Goldberg, I feel like there's one
I
good match there.
I did want to kind of refute that because apparently the reporting is that at Saturday night main event we get Gunther versus Priest. Um, Especially now
Yay.
since apparently they're going to try strengthening the Damien Priest character with like merchandising and accessories and stuff and um Gunther versus Priest, I think, is fine for Saturday night main event. I have a bigger concern regarding Goldberg, but before I give my thoughts on this match, I do want to reiterate a gripe I
So,
have.
so Leo, what's your prediction again before we
Oh,
get to this?
for
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah,
say Cody wins.
Cody.
Cody
Okay.
wins. Okay.
Yeah, I
All right,
think Cody's
Wolf.
winning.
I did want to talk about a gripe I have, which involves this precursor match we're having tomorrow on SmackDown, which is Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes versus Gunther and Kaiser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, this doesn't involve Gunther, this small little tirade of ranting, but I do need to reiterate that the splitting of Imperium was possibly the
The worst.
single worst decision of Triple H booking at all, period.
It was
Because
one of the worst.
no, I'm gonna say it was the worst. It was outright the
There's
worst
a lot
because
worse.
it was it completely buried Vinci for no reason. There was no reason to do Vinci dirty like that. We didn't put him back down to NXT. We had him lose in 3 seconds twice
Apollo.
on SmackDown to Apollo, which I'm fine with Vinci losing to Apollo, just not twice.
That
Not
killed him.
in 3 seconds and like yeah, no, no. I did
Yeah, I
not like
agree with that.
And I think
Kaiser.
he's recently been on speed. They've been
Yeah,
putting him
yeah,
on
yeah.
WWE speed
But
lately.
here's the problem. The reason for Imperium split was to give Kaiser his big singles push. Right? So since Berlin, from Berlin, Kaiser was completely off TV for a month. Over a month, probably.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. Because I think he showed up on that
For no
SmackDown.
reason. There was no reports of him being injured. There was no there was nothing. He was
He
just
didn't
off.
show back up until really the Sammy feud, really.
Because he
No,
had that U.S.
no,
title match
it
against
was
LA Knight,
technically
and then
after the Sammy
he's been
feud
still
because
doing
this
stuff
was
with
after
Sheamus.
Berlin.
He's still doing stuff
Yeah.
with Sheamus still.
Yeah,
Well, he's
yeah.
doing stuff with Sheamus now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we took him off TV for a month for no reason. Once he comes back, he's fighting Sheamus again, which why? You couldn't find anyone else
I,
on Raw. You have like twice the size of SmackDown on Raw. Like you can't find anyone. You have to do Sheamus for like the fifth time.
yeah.
Oh, and of course, Sheamus won, so that was
Yeah,
great.
that
That it
sucked.
was so
That's
dumb.
because I thought I feel like they've been trying to build up Louis Kaiser, and I think that's something that I want for him. I
I
want him to be a breakout star. I think he
I
has the
don't
tools to
I
be.
don't see it anymore because he just
Me
lost
neither.
clean to Sheamus for no reason. He's most likely taking the pin tomorrow. I'm sorry, that's a burial. They buried Kaiser. At the rate things are going, there is no chance Kaiser is even being a contender for a singles title in 2025. Forget the rest of this year, all of next year.
Yeah, I could
But
agree
as
with
far as
that.
this match goes, I mean, Wolf, who do you have winning? Do you think
This
Goldberg
match,
wins? Or, I mean, not Goldberg,
it's
Gunther or
really
Rhodes?
hard because it could
Yeah.
go either way. I did want to say Gunther, but I think they're just gonna solidify Cody as like the
The big baby
face
face
of
of
the
this baby.
company, like the literal face of the company, like the company revolves around him, which is fine because Cody deserves it.
Yeah.
So I will say Cody, but I could be wrong, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So for me, I've said this previously. Um, I think that we do get the abominable Goldberg getting involved in this. There'd be no reason to have like Goldberg jump the barricade at Bad Blood and try to pick a fight with Gunther if we're not doing anything with him.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, Goldberg is probably going to fight off Ludwig at ringside. Get in. I know that's going to piss Wolf off, having
He's
Gunther
gonna
look
get
like a wimp,
involved in somehow with
having
wrestling like
Kaiser
Wolf
look like a
does.
wimp. Yeah, he's going to get involved. He's going to cost Gunther the match. And Cody is going to win because, like Wolf said, it's going to solidify Cody as the new John Cena, basically the face of the company. And yeah, Goldberg. I mean, sorry, I keep saying Goldberg. Gunther is a good competitor, but he has gotten the bested by Cody every single time they faced off.
Yeah.
But I feel like, yeah, it's gonna go to Cody. They're gonna post all the
To be
pictures on
honest, I
Instagram
don't
with
think
him.
anyone will be mad whether it's Cody or Gunther because,
No,
like, this is a match where there is no wrong winner. Uh,
it
the
it didn't
one
need to be for
regarding Gold,
a meaningless belt, though. It didn't need to
it
be for
is
that.
for meaningless spells, which is why it's like even more of a case like nobody's gonna care whether it's Gunther or Cody. They'll be like, okay, cool. Uh, so I realized I didn't talk about Goldberg, which I'm scared about.
He's fearful.
I am fearful because I am worried
Be
that
afraid.
WWE has decided to use old Bill as the replacement for Mr. Brock Lesnar. And if that's the
Oh,
case, my fear is that Gunther versus Goldberg will happen at WrestleMania.
Oh no.
oh
And if that
no!
Oh
happens,
Survivor
nah.
Series is okay, but WrestleMania, bro.
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
I'm sorry. No.
And even worse, that
Oh,
leaves a very real possibility that Goldberg will win the Royal Rumble.
Oh
don't
heck
say
no.
that. No,
Oh
that's
no. Don't put
Randy's
that out
match
there.
to win, bro.
I'm
That's
sorry, ladies
that's
and gentlemen, who
Randy.
watch the show, but we did not say this. We're not saying that's Wolf's
I
match. We're
said it.
not.
I said it. No one, these two
Take
are
that up with
not
Wolf.
as
Take
crazy
that up with
as
him.
and
I'm
We're
fearful as
saying
I am.
Randy Orton still. Randy Orton still
I
might.
hope it's Randy. Yeah, I hope it's Randy.
Yeah,
Or Kevin. I will accept Kevin as the
yeah.
Rumble winner.
Kevin could be a good one too if they don't
Kevin
do him
versus
at a
Cody at
Saturday
Mania
main
would be
event.
cool.
Yeah.
okay. So the next match that we're going to be talking about is another tricky one.
No, you got
Seth
pictures now.
Rollins versus Bronson Reed. I've been actually really liking this feud, honestly. They
It's
have
pretty good.
definitely been giving Bronson Reed a
It's a
lot of
pretty good
shine in
feud.
this feud. And I feel like if he were to get a win over Seth Rollins, it would help him be elevated to another level in the company and potentially be seen as a main eventer, like beating someone who's very like well established and well accomplished on the likes of a Seth Rollins. And I like the brawl that they did this past week on Raw. I mean, Bronson Reed was not wasting any time. He called Seth Rollins out there. He said, "Come on, let's fight. Let's do it right now. We don't have to wait till Crown Jewel." Seth Rollins went
Yeah.
out there and started fighting. The fact that he hit a curb stomp on the car and then Bronson Reed still got back up, it's crazy. I feel like we're gonna honestly, I'm not gonna. This is not gonna be my prediction, but I wouldn't be surprised if this match doesn't have a conclusive winner. Like I can see one of these matches not really having a definitive winner because of the carnage and the chaos that's going to probably be involved in the match. Like I can see a situation where this match could probably end up being like a no DQ, like like a or like they get counted out or something. I can see
Yeah.
that, but I think the thing is that they're trying to do is make this like go over through multiple shows and pay per views. So my prediction, I'm gonna say Bronson Reed wins the first match. I think Bronson Reed wins this one. because I think you're gonna do another match between these two, probably at Survivor Series, and then Saturday Night Main Event, or you could probably stretch this out depending on how you can book it till the Rumble if you wanted to. Because I really think that there's a lot that they still have yet to touch on between the two, and I think it's probably starting to become one of the better feuds on Raw, honestly, right now. And I think why not like have Bronson Reed make a statement by beating a former WWE champion, which will do wonders for him. And I think you also have to understand that they're also going to be selling the idea of Seth Rollins not being 100% going into this match, which I think helps Bronson Reed's standings as far as his possibility of winning the match. So I'm going to say Bronson Reed wins the first match here.
I agree in a lot of sense. I feel like this was probably what they wanted to do with Omos last year that they couldn't capitalize on. Bronson Reed is more believable as this monster, as this dominant wrecking machine. And yeah, I feel like they really do view Bronson Reed as a possible main eventer. And I mean, why shouldn't they? Bronson Reed is very talented and very, very good. I mean, look at what he did in Japan and the Indies in the brief time he was there. So, yeah, I will say, yeah, because of the factor that Rollins will probably play off an injury, and because I feel like this will be very good for Bronson Reed going forward, especially into the Netflix era, I am going to say the winner of the match, Big Bronson Reed.
Yeah. Wolf, what do you think is going to happen here?
So my prediction is going to be less of a what's it called? Less of a question. It's like it's not gonna be like a contest, or it's not gonna be a hard decision. It has to be Bronson Reed. I think Bronson needs this win more than Seth ever could. Cause that like Bronson winning here will immediately put him in the main event scene, and he should be. He should be. He's a really good wrestler. He's really good, and they're seemingly very high on him. I would say Bronson is one of the better booked returns of Triple H. Um,
Yeah.
so I,
Yeah,
I think Bronson needs this win.
I definitely would agree. So the next match we're going to talk about is Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens.
Ooh.
Honestly, I'm really looking forward to this match too, just because we know I feel like Kevin Owens is similar to Drew McIntyre, where his heel turn is justified, to where it's like Cody, turned it. He felt like his Cody turned his back on him. Pretty much everything that they've been through, he still some way somehow decided to help the people that's been trying to take him out for this all this time, for trying to deny him his moment, for everything that's pretty much been happening with Kevin Owens, even on at the same time, just because it seems like he's been feuding with the bloodline since they formed. Like there's
Yep.
no
He
lost
literally
credibility in the bloodline.
has.
Yep.
Ever since they
So
formed, Kevin Owens has been feuding with the bloodline.
and he's got tired of it. He feels like Randy Orton is picking Cody's side, and he doesn't like that. And I'm gonna say this: I know I just mentioned that there's a possibility that the other match could end in like a wonky finish to where it could probably end like in a DQ or something. I feel like the same thing could be said here, but I think what's gonna happen, I think Kevin Owens is gonna beat Randy Orton. I feel like he is going to hit that pop-up power bomb on the ring apron and then
Oh yeah.
throw him back in for the 1, 2, 3. I think that's what I'm gonna happen. I'm gonna lock it in. Kevin Owens, the prize fighter, returns. No more fight Owens fight. We are going to get the return, the longer-rated return of the prize fighter, Kevin Owens.
It really seems like they are going that direction. And I will say how I think this match will go is with how much emphasis last Friday on SmackDown with Triple H saying protect yourself and all that, like you're going to get hurt. I didn't want you having this match because I feel like you're going to get hurt. It makes me think they're going to write Randy Orton off TV until he comes back and inevitably turns on Cody. So, yeah, I think Kevin Owens does something either during or after the match to put Randy Orton out of action. And then that will instantly propel Kevin Owens to now fully focus on Cody Rhodes and the WWE Championship, either at Survivor Series or at Saturday night's main event.
I definitely
So
see that. I
yeah,
think the
and
only way you
if
can
they're
pull
gonna
that
have
off,
Owens be the next person to challenge Cody, then he shouldn't lose on the pay-per-view before or two pay-per-views before. So
I think
I'm going.
here's the thing, and I'm sorry I cut you off.
All
But
good.
here's the
All good.
thing. I think what the thing with this one is, if you're gonna have him do like that post match beatdown, I think Randy would have to win, and that's how you write him off. I think they
Mm,
could do that. Like maybe Randy, he doesn't like pin him like 1, 2, 3 straight up. Maybe it's like a roll up or something.
my thing was it was like Kevin Owens wins, but he is still pissed about feeling like Randy took Cody's side. He wanted to take out another threat before going after Cody. But yeah, like I was going to say, um, the winner, it has to be Kevin Owens if he's going to be the next number one contender. I feel like, yeah, the prize fighter returns. Kevin, full blown heel now, and he will beat Randy Orton, go after Cody Rhodes, and then maybe WrestleMania season or whatever, he goes after Sami Zayn. That's how I view Kevin Owens going forward.
I can definitely see that, and I'm looking forward to
So
that for
I'm
sure.
gonna give my prediction, and then I'm gonna ask a question about you two, how you think about a possible idea given off
Okay,
Willie's
go for it.
uh, prediction. So my prediction: Kevin beats Randy clean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just straight up, no like roll up, no wonky finish. Just straight up, Kevin beats Randy clean. Um, and that's that. Uh, Kevin is going to be the next go after Cody. Then, my question now is, how would we feel if they do that writing off Randy angle, uh, from whatever Kevin does? We have Saturday night main event. We have Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. How would we feel if Kevin Owens beats Cody and
For the title,
then for the title at Saturday night main event, and then at the Rumble, Randy returns, wins the Rumble. At WrestleMania, you have Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens for the WWE title.
well,
What
Randy
would you
would have
do
to be
with
a face.
Cody then?
You have him fight Rock and Roman for no title.
I don't know. I feel
No,
like the
no.
whole thing behind those three right now is for that to be for the championship because Rock wants that title, Roman wants that title back, and Cody's the champion. So it's like if you take that thing away, it's like what are they really fighting for? Because if you want to do Rock and Roman, that's fine. You don't have to put a title on for them because the whole story for that is like who's the real tribal chief,
That,
who's the real
or
leader of
we
the
could
family.
get Cody versus Jacob. I don't know.
I don't
Um,
know. Yeah, I don't
uh,
think
my
Owens should dethrone
my
Cody.
alternative idea is that Randy comes back at Saturday Night Main Event, costs uh, Kevin, and then might also turn heel on Cody.
That's how I view it. I think
And
that
then instead of so at Mania, instead of us getting Cody, Rock, Roman, we get Cody, Randy, Kevin, and then Rock and Roman fight each other at WrestleMania.
that would be a
Um,
way better option.
yeah.
I would agree. On to the next match for the United States Championship, a
This
triple
is a
threat
match I'm
match
also really
between LA
excited
Knight
for.
versus Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade. I mean, it really started between Andrade and Carmelo having this best of
Yep,
seven series, which was really good
it
up
was
until
really
the
good.
seventh match, which was ruined, unfortunately. But outside of that, they were actually putting up some really entertaining matches, and I really feel like we're gonna probably get to see more glimpses of that. I feel like they have definitely been handling Carmelo Hayes very well since he's came from NXT to the main roster. I think
They've
he's
also
been
been
doing that. I think
handling
they have not pushed
Andrade
him off.
since his return pretty well.
They've been doing him good as well. I think for sure. I think the thing with Carmelo is like I was saying that they've been handling him well, and I feel like he's someone that I would have thought that probably wouldn't have gotten to the point he is at now. I feel like he probably would have been there, but would have been one of those type of people that's just not there a lot of the times. But they have definitely surprised me, and they're continuing to keep him, make him a focal point, and everything like that.
From what
But I think
I've seen people on Twitter like speculate because of the fact that Game 7 was ruined. Um, they'll give the US title to either Andrade or Carmelo here. Um, and like so LA Knight drops the title because he ruined that last to payback for ruining that last match. But I don't know. I think for me, I'm gonna be more on the safe side. I'm gonna say LA Knight retains, pinning Andrade. Unfortunately, I love him, but I think this match Andrade is taking the pin.
I
Ooh,
also think that's I think LA Knight's winning because here's the one that, and besides everything that you've said, Wolf, which is very accurate, they just made this title, this little design that has the LA design all over it. You're not gonna just bring in that title for about a week or 2 weeks and have him drop it. He's going to hold that title for probably a while before he ends up dropping it. So with that being said, I'm gonna say LA Knight retains here.
my thing is, if we're gonna have this best of seven series, which then turned into the winner gets a United States Championship opportunity, I feel like they're not going to waste it like on having the two of either one of the two, well, I should say both, lose this opportunity. My thing is one of them might be winning here. And out of the two, I think Carmelo Hayes is the best bet. I feel
I
like
would say, yeah.
Carmelo Hayes should win here. And I will even say go on to WrestleMania to defend that in a ladder match or something like that. Or wait
I
until
could see
Trick
something along the lines
Williams
of that for
goes
sure.
to the main roster, something like that.
But you
But
also have to,
that's a story for another day.
but you,
I'm gonna
what was it?
say Carmelo Hayes.
I think that's a good pick. I think the only thing that was kind of rooting against it, because like on top of them just putting in that new design for the title, usually they don't do that and then have somebody drop it almost instantly. And then on
MJF.
top of that, I feel like another thing with LA Knight, the Saudi Arabia crowd really love them some LA Knight. They really do. Every time that he's there on their screen, he's probably one of the only few stars that get some of the biggest pops of the night. One of the very few. So I feel like they've really haven't really scratched the surface of what they're. I wouldn't even say that. They've only scratched the surface of what he can really do as champion. I think we still have some other things that we could potentially tell from him as
Yeah.
being the U.S. champion. So I think we're probably gonna get him holding it for maybe a few more months,
Yeah,
maybe. But I don't know. We'll have to see. But
Yeah.
we're
My
gonna move
thing.
on.
Yeah. Sorry about that. My thing is where it was like my main reason why I think Carmelo Hayes is winning is because I feel like it'd be a waste of time having that best of seven if one of them isn't going to win. Otherwise, I would have played it safe and said that LA Knight is going to retain. But yeah, that's why it's my main reason. I'm thinking Carmelo is getting that rocket ship on his back and he is going to win that belt.
Okay, so the next match that we're going to talk about is for the women's tag team titles. It's the first time we're seeing these
Gee.
titles be defended since what was it, Clash of the Castle that they last were defended on a pay-per-view.
On a pay-per-view?
Yeah, the last time they were defended.
Bash in Berlin pre-show. It was Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell versus Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill.
Oh wow. Well, now we're getting a fatal 4-way between Damage Control of Io Sky and Kairi Sane versus Metaphor's Last Legend and Jakara Jackson, and we have Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. I really feel like they've definitely been given a lot more. I feel like with this match, they've been given a lot of time to these women. I feel like they've been trying to make a big deal out of Jakara Jackson and Last Legend for sure, just because how they've been positioning her as of late. I don't know if this is an official call up for these women just yet.
It seems like it.
But the one thing I will say about the women's tag team titles, and this is one of my biggest gripes, for a long time ago, we had two different sets of tag team titles. We had the NXT women's tag team titles and the WWE women's tag team titles. I don't understand what was the point of unifying both titles. At least when you had the NXT women's titles, you had something for the women to fight for, because at the time we just had the main title, the NXT women's title, and the tag team titles. We didn't have a women's mid-card title at the time. So this was the next best thing to that. And actually, compared to the women's tag team title, they were actually making the NXT tag team titles for the women feel very important. They really were. Yeah. Especially sometimes they were building actual feuds around them and everything like that. And this was somebody that I actually wanted to see hold those titles, Jakara Jackson and Last Legend. I think they were just, starting to make waves at the time. And I think they would have had all the potential in the world to do something really big. But unfortunately, that was not the case and everything like that. And the one thing about the women's tag team titles, they're supposed to be defended on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and which they do, but it's mainly on Raw and SmackDown. We rarely see them be showed up or defended in NXT. And one of the things that I don't like is the fact that we have people on the main roster win these titles all the time, but we've never seen a NXT tag team beat one of the main roster tag teams and win the WWE tag team titles. It's always the same situation. If an NXT tag team going up against the main roster tag team for the tag team titles, NXT is losing every single time. Every single time. Yeah. There's never been a case where they have ever put a doubt in anybody's mind that things could be different. And that's the one thing I don't like, especially with them getting rid of it. So hopefully that is something that they do change in the future. But since you did say that they are going to, have these women be on the main roster going forward, possibly, which I'm not mad at because it gives more depth to the women's division as a whole, and everything like that. But I think with the match they have right now, I can see a situation where they kind of play off the fact that every time Jade Cargill and Bianca are in a multi-woman match, they always lose. I can see them playing that story back, but I don't think you necessarily want to do that again. So I'm going to say Jade Cargill and Bianca retain here.
All right, so I'm technically going to play the roles of two people because Wolf says he'll be back, but he already gave his prediction. So to your earlier point of an NXT team never being the women's tag team champions, Wolf says Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson win here, which I wouldn't be mad at, mind you, because it would really prop them up. Like they just got there and boom, there they go. Women's tag team champions. It would really help an NXT team finally being the champions. And if you want to keep them in metaphor down in NXT, having the women's tag team titles over there can get more eyes on the NXT product. In terms for me, I don't think that's going to happen. I said in my predictions video that I feel like Jade and Bianca losing, like, I wouldn't say already because they won him in Clash of the Castle, but I think them. Oh no, it was after Clash of the Castle. They won them back
because they lost them to. What was it?
What pay-per-view was it?
Unholy Union. They won. They
Unholy Union won them at Clash of the Castle. Bianca and Jade won them back on another pay-per-view. I forget which. I think it was Money in the Bank.
Look that up.
It was either Money in the Bank or Bash in Berlin.
Might have been Bash in Berlin.
What?
Might have been Bash in Berlin, but I'm gonna
Or
double
King of the
check.
Ring? No, King of the Ring
No,
was
because
before
that was
Clash of the Castle.
was in May.
Yeah,
So let me
and
look that
Clash
up
of the
real quick.
Castle was in July, June or
Clash
July,
was in
June.
no, I think it was June. Yeah, I think it was June. Yeah.
Yeah, I forget. I forget when Jade and
No,
Bianca won them
Bash.
back.
You said Bash in Berlin, right?
Yeah.
That was September.
Okay. So it wouldn't be already, but I don't think they're gonna lose them here. I think they're gonna save that until like WrestleMania season or somewhere around there. So we'll get Jade and Bianca one-on-one at
Yeah, it was
WrestleMania
Bash in Berlin where
41.
they won it back.
Oh, okay. So I don't know where the
Bianca
fuck
and
I
Jay
got
won it
that.
back at Bash in Berlin.
I don't know where I got that Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell idea. I think I was thinking of Elimination Chamber last year.
Yeah,
But
that was Chamber last year. They did that.
yeah, it was Chamber last year. They faced them. I'm going to say Jade and Bianca retain here, and I think maybe they pin Chelsea and Piper, and maybe we run back Lash Legend and Chikara Jackson or something like that. But I'm going to play it safe in terms of this PLE, and I'm going to say, and still women's tag team champions, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair.
I would also agree with you on that one. Just because I think I just I would love to see new champions. Just because I think they do want to do that Jade Cargill and Bianca feud, but I don't think
Yeah.
they're gonna pull the trigger on that just yet. I think they probably would wait until like the build up for WrestleMania to pull the trigger on something like that of them losing. The earliest I can see them
Mm-hmm.
losing is probably like the Rumble or something like that if they want to do it like on an
Yeah.
episode before the Rumble or at the Rumble itself,
Or the
and stuff
first
like
Raw
that.
on Netflix or anything like that. You do it
I could
then.
see that for sure. So the next match we're going to be talking about, we already talked about the men's crown jewel title match. The next one we're going to be talking about is the women's. We have Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan. Now, at first, as much as a Liv Morgan fan I was going to say Nia, but what happened on NXT, I think changed a lot of things because I was thinking Rhea Ripley was going to pay dividend and screw over Liv Morgan.
That was what I
I don't
thought
think
too.
that's. I thought that was the main reason why you're going to have Liv lose. But since that happened, and with her injury, she's going to probably be out for a couple of months because of the injury. So, I think, I think Liv probably wins this one. I think Liv is probably going to win. The reason why is because I feel like Tiffany is going to get
My
involved, right?
my thing. Yes.
And I think Liv is probably going to win, but I think Tiffany is going to cash in. Not even no, not even cash in, but she's gonna get involved, right? And I think it's probably going
Mm-hmm.
to distract Nia to an extent to where Liv might get the upper hand. Because I feel like there's going to be a lot of shenanigans in this match, even though Rhea's not going to be involved. Because you still have to understand that Raquel is going to be there. You're probably going to have the other Judgment Day members probably try to get involved as well. You're going to have Tiffany be there. Maybe even have Naomi or a Bailey get involved as well as and stuff like that. So it's gonna be an all out, car wreck. People are gonna be trying to get involved left and right. And somebody made a joke about this. This is probably the closest thing we're gonna get to a bloodline rules match for the women. And everything like that. But I think if you look at Nia, right, she's been very dominant. And another thing
Yes.
I would like to throw out is these two have been like probably your MVPs on the women's side of things for this year. I will say that. Even though as of recently, Liv's booking hasn't been the best. We can all agree on that. But still, what she's been able to do character wise has probably been some of the best stuff that she's been doing ever. And that in the same conversation, Nia
I'm
Jax has been
back.
improving people left and right since she's came back. These two have been your most improved women of the women's division this entire year. Now, with that being said, I know people have been throwing out the idea maybe Tiffany makes it a triple threat. I think somebody even made a
Mm.
idea of Tiffany cashing in while Nia is in the ring and Nia tells her to cash in. But I think there's a misconception between the two. Liv
It wouldn't
pushes
make sense.
Tiffany into Nia, and then she pins Tiffany. But that would piss off a lot of people. So I don't think they're gonna do that. I think what's gonna happen is that we're gonna have some interference, of course, but I think it's gonna be really come down to Tiffany and Naya having some miscommunication, and that's going to be the downfall of Naya to allow Liv Morgan to get the win. Because if we're going to go back to what we've been saying earlier, right? If the men are going to hold, if the Smack, if for me personally, I said Cody was going to win. I think honestly they're going to give it to one person on SmackDown and one person on Raw. So since I'm going to say they're going to give it to Cody, I think they're going to give it to Liv. Because if you give it to Nia, which would not be a bad idea, I think it would still kind of fit her character just because she did win Queen of the Ring. So her holding the crown jewel title is somewhat in her gimmick arsenal, but at the same
Yeah, it
time,
fits.
I don't think she needs it because another thing, and I think that needs to be said, if we're looking at the pay per view records, right, as champion, Rhea has been not Rhea, but Nia has been getting the upper win. She's been getting wins. She's got a win at SummerSlam. She won it. She also won at. Did she defend Bastion Berlin? No, I don't think she did, but she did win at Bad Blood. So she's been winning on the pay per views. But for Liv Morgan, she has not won the last two pay per views. She lost at Bastion Berlin, and then she also lost at Bad Blood via DQ. So I think she's kind of
Yeah.
somewhat owed a win. And then if you do have, Rhea Ripley come back, you can kind of play with the idea that Liv Morgan is this quote unquote greatest women's champion because she is the champion. She won the crown jewel title as well. So I think in a grand scheme of things, from a story perspective, it makes the win for Rhea even bigger because she's beating somebody who's been racking up all these accolades, getting these big wins and stuff like that. So I think for their story, it makes the most sense. So with that being said, I'm gonna say Liv Morgan wins this one, but not clean.
Yeah, like my original pick was Nia Jax, but yeah, I want to say after Rhea got injured, and especially after you brought up the point of, can't have both winners be from SmackDown, it makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
So, how I will book this, or how I would book this, is Tiffany Stratton comes out, hint at cashing in on Liv. Maybe Raquel prevents it or something. A little bit of a brawl distracts Naya, which will allow Liv to get the win. Yeah, maybe you'll have the Judgment Day, like all the other members of Judgment Day out there or something like that. Dom, whatever. That could also help Liv. But yeah, I will say Liv Morgan wins here. It will give her a pay-per-view win, give her something to talk about in every promo known to man on Mondays. But
She's about to go all in on that one.
Not that laugh,
So
man. I can't hear it again. But I'm
Here's the
gonna say
thing,
Liv Morgan wins.
and I think her character is okay. It's just the laughing. I wish they would have kind of changed up her promo style just a little bit, like tweak
Yeah,
it
tone it down.
to where she doesn't like, she does. She seems like when she comes out there, she talks fast. I wish they would kind of pace it differently, like where she talks a little bit slower and a little bit, and stuff like that. I think that'd be a little bit better when she doesn't really laugh because the laugh, it's cool, but it gives me Chucky vibes. Like Chucky vibes when he laughs, it's annoying.
yep.
Like
So I do have. So before I give my take, I assume I left. I didn't miss anything besides Lash and Jakara
Yeah.
and
you
the
said,
other.
Lash and Jakara winning.
I
Yeah.
said Lash and Jakara. I mainly said that because it would be interesting. It would be something fresh. And I just think it's about time Bianca and Jade lose. Because if they don't, because like I do think Lash and Jakara would be a really good tag team. It would be something new. It would elevate them, and it would be a good transition from Bianca and Jade. So, and then they can finally start maybe doing some like Bianca and Jade tension. So my regarding Nia Jax and Liv Morgan, I'm gonna give my prediction, and it's probably a bit of wishful thinking. Definitely some fantasy booking involved, but I do think it's reasonable. Um, result wise, I think Liv Morgan wins.
Yeah.
I do think Tiffany comes out, tries cashing in and stuff. Maybe Raquel and or Dom comes in to stop her and like mess things up, and then which leads to which takes Tiffany out of the equation. She's still there, but she's like out of the ring.
Yeah.
Um, Liv ends up beating Naya, and then after the match, Naya is like mad at Tiffany and is like basically scolding her, and then afterwards, I do not want to do a big moment in Saudi, but I think we need
A cash
to.
in.
No, that's when we hear "All Hail the Queen." Charlotte
Oh
Flair comes back.
Lord.
Oh god.
I thought
Survivor
he was about to say.
Series.
I thought he's about to say Tiffany cashes in because that would be a
No, no,
big
no, no,
moment.
not there.
That's
No,
what
no.
I thought too.
I say so. It seems like Nia's gonna like basically slaughter Tiffany. Charlotte comes back, confronts Nia. There's your Survivor Series match, and that's where Tiffany cashes in. So for
Because
Survivor Series, I have Nia versus Charlotte. Tiffany cashes in on Charlotte. Yeah, on Charlotte, pinning Charlotte. Um, to win at Survivor Series. Saturday night main event or Rumble, you have Nia versus Tiffany, um, with Tiffany as champ, and then ultimately Mania, you get Tiffany versus Charlotte.
I could definitely
Mm,
see that.
I
So
could
yeah,
see
I
that as
do
well.
think it's about time that Charlotte comes back. I don't want her to come back at Saudi just because Saudi is usually a dead crowd, especially for the women. Um, but I don't think there's really anywhere else you could do it.
Not really,
I think they're gonna do
because
Charlotte coming back at Survivor Series.
I could see
You
that.
could, but
But
at
she
that
make it
If
point,
if
easier.
a,
that
if a
means
women's belt is on the line at Survivor Series, if a women's belt is on the line.
right.
Yeah. But moving on to the next match, which would probably be the main event of the show. Um, Bloodline versus Bloodline, OG Bloodline,
This should
Roman
not
and the
main event the
Usos.
show. I'm sorry. The main event
Which
should be Cody and Gunther.
now I do like the
I can
fact
see them
that
kicking off.
Roman, Jimmy, and Jay are
No,
all
Cody
back
and Gunther
together.
should main
I
event.
do like that. I do like the fact
This
that
could kick off.
I do
Hmm.
understand what their. I did like the seeds that they did plant on Monday, because Sammy was talking to Jay and it was like, "Oh, so you're back with them after everything that they put you through." And Jay was like, "You don't understand. You won't understand because you're not family." Then Jimmy was there. He went to go talk to Sammy, and Jay was right behind him. And then you look off in the background, and it's Solo talking to Sammy. Now, what he was saying to Sammy, we don't know, but you can also kind of go with the indication of Solo might be trying to recruit Sammy for his version of the bloodline and everything like that. And I think if we're building towards Survivor Series, I think he's going to probably get back with Roman and the Usos for the time being and everything like that. But who do I think is going to win this match? I love the fact that the Usos and Roman are back together, but I do think that the bad bloodline of the Tongans and Solo are going to win because, for one, you still have Jacob Fatu still playing, being an X Factor in this match. Two, I think you have to give the bad bloodline the a win if you're building them up to be a threat going into Survivor Series. Because if you have them lose again like they did at Bad Blood, which I thought they were going to win when it was Cody and Roman, and you had them win, it's like you kind of diminish them. You kind of diminish them to the point where people aren't going to stop caring. And if you have them lose again, then people are going to stop caring and people are not going to pay attention to them in the sense of, oh, we're invested to what they're doing. Oh, they have a shot at doing this. They have a shot at doing that. No, they won't. People are going to stop caring just because it's like you book them to lose and lose and lose on pay-per-views when it should be when it matters the most, but you can book them strong on weekly SmackDowns. Like it doesn't work like that. So I'm going to say they win, and then maybe after the match, Solo can be directing traffic to continue doing a post match beatdown on the Usos and Roman, and then Sammy comes out and then because and stuff like that, and you have Sammy kind of turn the tides during that beatdown, and you can have that visual of the Usos, Roman, and Sammy back together again, and then you can kind of start building Survivor Series war games from there.
My thing was I really went, how a fan would book, I would feel, with Roman and the Usos winning. The way I envisioned it was I felt like, maybe Tonga Loa was going to be the one at ringside. And during the match, Sami Zayn comes out and attacks Tonga Loa, distracts the Timu bloodline and all that, and then that will allow Roman and the Usos to get the win. And then we have like Sammy explain what he was saying to Solo, which would be Sami Zayn saying, "Hey, stay away from my boys," you know what I mean, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, I still really think Roman and the Usos are gonna win. I think they really care about that Saudi pop, and they care about like sending the fans home happy. Though I will not be surprised if the Timu bloodline wins, because yes, it will make them a threat going into War Games, especially if Sammy doesn't get involved until after the match, where it's like a will he, won't he in terms of joining which bloodline.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna say Roman and the Usos. I'm gonna go with my heart instead of my gut for this one.
okay. What do you think is gonna
So
happen?
for me, I have kind of different thought, the different pathways on how things go, but it's kind of all similar. For regarding who's at ringside, I personally believe that it's probably going to be Solo and the Tongans fighting, leaving Jacob at ringside. Um, I just think it would be make more sense. It would be more flavorful, I guess. More it just would fit better. Um, and if it's what they did last time with Solo, Tamatanga, and Jacob, then I would say, regardless of who's fighting, I say Solo Bloodline wins the match.
Yeah,
I think they need this win. I had a feeling they would not win at Bad Blood just because it was the first match that Roman Reigns since Roman Reigns came back, and I knew they were not going to give him a loss. Like if Roman lost, Cody would get pinned, and I don't think they would have wanted to have Cody get pinned. Um, so I honestly didn't expect. For me, I think this is the time for Solo's bloodline to win. Uh, and I expect is so if Jacob is in the match, is fighting in the match, I would have Jacob pin Roman.
in this
Uh,
match.
in this match, Jacob pins Roman. Um,
Ooh.
not Solo because they already tried doing Solo pinning Roman and then didn't work out. So now Jacob like if Jacob's in the match, he like makes sure that he's the one pinning Roman. Um, and that would also elevate Jacob. That would make Jacob this huge monstrous threat. Because he pinned Roman Reigns. Um, if it's how I expect it to be, which is Solo and the Tongans, I'm just gonna say Solo probably gets the pin on uh hell Roman, I guess.
I think
Uh
Solo would pin Jimmy in that case.
it
Because
could
I
be
think out of the three, Jimmy is the weaker of the three.
it could be Jimmy, it could be Jay, honestly, it could be any of them.
I think
Um
Jay is not
I
taking a
think
pinch
Jay
because he
might
already lost
I
the IC
think
title.
Jay is probably gonna get distracted. Jay's gonna be out of the ring, like away from the ring. Um
Like
so
he's
I
not
think
gonna trust them.
yeah, I don't know. Like maybe he gets distracted from Jacob or whoever's at ringside helping like deal with that, and then Jimmy or Roman takes the pin. And then after the match, I do think they have a beatdown where Bloodline, the Timu Bloodline, is like beating down all of them, and that's where Sammy comes in, because Sammy in Saudi is going to generate a huge pop,
Yeah,
possibly the biggest pop you can get out of Saudi. Um,
yeah,
it's just always happening. So, and if this does main event, which again I don't think it should, that I think this like having Sammy uh, show up would certainly make people happy. Uh, and then I could say they, if they want, I doubt it's gonna happen, but they could even go as far as Sammy helps turn things around, and Roman gets the Olafala back.
I can
And
see that.
then
Because look
so
in the graphic. In the graphic, you have both of them with the Ulafala on.
both of them have the Olafala. So
It
talk,
almost seems like whoever wins this, or
yeah,
someone's
I'm
gonna get the
thinking
Ulafala by the end
Roman
of the
might
night.
get the Olafala back.
That'd be a good way to set up
But
Survivor Series.
I'm not gonna put this out there, but what if The Rock came in?
No,
No,
I don't think he will until Survivor
he's not
Series.
going to show up at Saudi. No.
But those are our predictions, you guys. So that was the first part of the podcast episode. But the next part we're gonna be doing is talking about Elimination Chamber, specifically fantasy booking and predicting the card for Elimination Chamber next year that will be taking place in March. Now, all of us probably won't have the same matches. Some of us probably will, but we're gonna keep it to like the 5 match form, 5 to 6 match format. So if you have 5 matches, that's fine. If it's 6 matches, that's okay as well. Because usually, sometimes with a lot of these matches, they end up being 5 to 6 matches. And it's crazy to think that we didn't make mention of this earlier with Crown Jewel having like about what 7 matches. Like it's kind of crazy that out of the outside of the big four pay-per-views, which is Rumble, Mania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series, we're actually getting a card with 7 matches for Crown
Yeah,
Jewel.
that's crazy. It's almost like they want Crown Jewel to be a big deal.
I don't think people want it to be a big deal, but I
People
mean,
don't.
People don't, but
Crown Prince,
WWE
no.
does.
It's not just
so
WWE, but the Crown Prince.
we're going to get rid of this graphic and we're going to start our predictions or fantasy bookings for Chamber. So, Willie, you can start whichever match you have starting off your show and let us know
Okay.
what it is.
All right. So the first match that I have for my Elimination Chamber card, for context, I wrote this on the bus ride home from school because it takes me 5 minutes to write down any card that I make. Big flex. My first match is the Women's Elimination Chamber match. The winner will face Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship at WrestleMania. I have Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, Lyra Valkyria, the special wild card from Monday Night Raw, Bailey, Chelsea Green, and Naomi. And who wins? Charlotte Flair.
I could see that. Okay, so that was your opening match, and that was the Chamber #1 contender. Okay, Wolf, what is your opening match?
My opening match will actually hold. Sorry, I'm kind of figuring this out as I go.
Now,
Okay.
if you
I
have
will
full,
also say the women's elimination chamber match, as they did for the past 2 years.
every year.
No. It was more like
No.
2 years. Um, I will say the women's elimination chamber match. I will say Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, Naomi.
Mm.
Uh, I'll say Io Sky.
Damn.
Uh, Hold on, I'm looking. Uh, just because I'm biased and I guess because I want to put her in, I'll say Alexa. Um,
Yeah, she could be
and
back there.
then number
I don't
6
know
will
which brand she would be on though if
Raw.
she does come back.
She'll be on Raw. Yeah, she'll like
Even
they
though
like
like
putting Raw people
even
on
though she'd
SmackDown.
be appreciated on SmackDown, like SmackDown could use her, I'll say uh, Raw. And then
And who do you have winning?
no, I need
He
one
has one
more.
more. He has one more woman to name in the chamber.
Oh, gotcha.
Screw it, just because just because I don't have anyone better, we'll just throw in uh, Raquel, I guess.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah. And the winner faces Tiffany at WrestleMania.
And who
Uh,
wins?
the winner is Charlotte Flair.
All right.
Okay. So my opening match is for the women, but it's not a number one contenders match. It is a title match. I
Mm.
have Liv Morgan defending the Women's World Championship inside the Elimination Chamber, and it's going to be women from both Raw and SmackDown that's a part of this. So I have Liv Morgan defending against Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Mia Yim. I think having Mia Yim
Damn.
be part of that and kind of getting in there with some of the bigger names kind of help elevating herself. I think you have some of the bigger names in the company with Jade starting to make waves, Bianca a made star, Rhea a dominant force to be reckoned with, and Io who's can go with pretty much just any of them and put on a good match in any given night. With that being said, I think the person that's going to win is Liv Morgan retaining. I think it's going to come down to her and Rhea. It looks like Rhea is about to have the match won, but I think Raquel will come in and screw over Rhea Ripley, and it leads to Rhea Ripley probably winning like a number one contender match on Raw to secure herself an opportunity for the title. I didn't have Charlotte in here because Charlotte is winning the Rumble in my storyline and everything like that. So that's why I did 3 Raw and 3 SmackDown. And throughout this feud, this whole chamber, you're building a new like you're building the Liv Morgan and Rhea match, right? But you're also building the Bianca and Jade match as well. So you're building 2 matches for WrestleMania, um, just off the chamber alone. So that is my opening match for the Women's World Championship. And like I said, Liv Morgan retains. Willie, what is your second match taking place on your Elimination Chamber card?
My second match is actually for the Women's World Championship. I have
Okay.
Liv Morgan defending the belt against Io Sky. It just is a little throwaway
Woo!
match. A little
I
throwaway
love
match,
that.
but it'll
I
be a
love that
fun
match.
match. And who wins? Liv Morgan. I'm not
Yeah.
even going to pretend.
I would love
Liv
to
Morgan.
see Io winning the belt, but I think since she had that long reign for a while, I think it's probably be a while
Yeah.
before I see her with the belt again. So, Wolf, what is your second match?
Uh, for my second match, I will say, um, it's going to be for the Intercontinental Championship.
Damn.
Braun Breaker defends against. Uh, Hold on, actually. Sorry, I'm just figuring this out real
No, it's
quick.
fine. It's no problem.
Uh, I'll say, just because I would find it quite interesting, I would say Dragon Lane.
Ooh.
Actually, actually no, hold on. Actually, I'm gonna say, man, why does suddenly no one on Raw like looks believable? Braun Breaker versus. I would find this very enjoy. This is like really um like hold on. Okay, sorry. I was thinking of someone that is injured, but I just realized that probably won't work out. I'll say Xavier Woods, Braun Breaker versus Xavier Woods.
Oh, okay.
So
Uh,
would Xavier be a heel by this point, or
Uh, I
sorry,
think with
let
what they're
me.
going for, he would be. Maybe
Yeah,
Kofi.
I'll I'll say Braun Breaker versus Xavier Woods versus Kofi.
Ooh, triple threat.
Triple threat for the IC title.
That won't be
okay?
too bad.
Yeah.
So my second match is for the United States Championship. We have the champion Carmelo Hayes going in, defending the U.S. Championship against main event Jey Uso. I think event
Mm.
Jey Uso is probably gonna find his way back to SmackDown, and if that is the case, I could see him probably being in the U.S. title picture. And I think him and Carmelo can really have a great match. In all honesty. But who I think is gonna win that, I think Carmelo's going to retain. It's gonna look like Jey Uso's about to have one, but I think the bloodline is gonna get involved. I think at least the Tongans and stuff like that are probably gonna get involved. So that is my second
Yeah.
match.
Um, my
And who's your third
match,
match?
my third match is also for the United States Championship. I have Carmelo Hayes. This is a bit of a reach. This is probably the one that isn't going to happen out of all of them. I have Carmelo Hayes defending the championship against Ricky Starks.
Oh, oh.
I
And who
love it,
wins? Who wins? I'm
Ricky.
actually going to say shenanigans because it leads to a ladder match where Ricky Starks actually wins at WrestleMania.
Okay.
He's going with my idea from
Yep.
WrestleMania a couple weeks ago. If you guys didn't check
Yeah,
that out, go check that out.
you
That's definitely be
convinced
our
me,
third
man.
match.
You convinced
I
me.
mean, because I feel like that's a staple of WrestleMania having a ladder match. I
Yeah.
know we
Well,
had it
yeah,
for the
having a
tag.
ladder match, and I feel like on the road to WrestleMania, you have like Ricky Stark's debut, and I think he debuts at the Rumble, and he goes to the Chamber, faces for the United States Championship, loses, and then goes to WrestleMania and gets his moment.
I definitely see that. So, Wolf, what is your third match?
My third match will be uh for the hold on, I'm thinking real quick. I want to make sure I know what I'm doing here. Okay. For the World Tag Team Championships, the Raw ones,
Okay.
It will be who I believe will take it from Finn and JD. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee as champions against hold on, I want to be thinking real hard about this.
Have to be a heel team.
It would be a heel team. I am gonna be. Sorry, there's a couple. I wanna be certain. Okay, we're gonna say the War Raiders.
Nice.
I love that.
Yeah.
So my next match is for the World Heavyweight Championship. We have Gunther defending against former world champion in his own right, El Campeon Damian Priest. I think Damian Priest is
Mhm.
bound to get a rematch for that title. And I feel like the way they kind of been doing it right now, it seems like they've been focusing more on this potential Goldberg storyline. So that's probably going to be taking place maybe throughout the rest of the year, maybe. So once that wraps up, you can insert Damian Priest back into the fold and then have him go after the World title and lead up to WrestleMania.
All right. My next match, it's Bloodline Rules. I have Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa, finally 1-on-1. And I actually have Solo Sikoa winning due to Rock interference.
Okay.
Get Rock all the heat in the world building to WrestleMania. Roman losing. And then Roman gets that win back against The Rock at WrestleMania.
Okay. Wolf, what is your fourth match that's taking place?
Fourth match. We're having 5 matches?
You can have 5 to 6. 5 to 6.
5 or 6. Okay. So, fourth match. I will say I feel like I need another women's match.
They only have like the chamber match, and that's really usually it. Well, except for this year, they had the women's chamber, then a one-on-one title match.
Well, they had the women's tag team titles on the pre-show.
Right.
Oh no, and they
Yeah,
also
then-
had Rhea and Nia because Rhea was in Australia. Yeah, so they had technically had 3. They technically had 3 women's matches. They had more women's matches than they did men's.
Yeah,
I think
it's about time.
Yeah.
I will say for the Women's World Championship on the line, I have Liv Morgan versus Lyra Valkyria.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
My next match is a dream match.
Actually, I just hold on. Sorry, I did realize something. I just remembered where Chamber is going to be, so I actually need to make it less of a good match, but a probably very sensible one. So instead, Liv Morgan versus Italia.
What you got against Canada, man? It's my home country. Come on, man.
No, I'm saying people, I don't know. I don't know if people will be excited for Liv versus Natalia, but I feel like they could. They probably.
Then again, technically, if Edge was still in Canada, I would have put him in my chamber match. So I guess I gotta agree. Natalia.
I mean, I could have put Natalia in the chamber match, but I don't.
I mean, I could have put Natalia in my women's world championship match too, but I did Io. So
yeah, I I
Yeah,
would
I did
just
forget.
say
I knew it
Liv
was
versus
gonna
Natalia.
be in the UK. So my fourth match is a dream match. We have Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu. I
Yeah, I
think
like that.
I feel like in the road to WrestleMania, I feel like we're going to see The Rock versus Roman be set
Yeah.
up for WrestleMania, and I feel like what better match is there for him to do outside of doing that in the road to WrestleMania? Have Roman Reigns face Jacob Fatu, and Jacob Fatu wins because The Rock gets involved.
So it was like my solo idea, but you got it for Jacob. I like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, I think Roman losing would really help him be an underdog before facing The Rock. It makes The Rock look more like a threat. Okay, so that it means it is time for my main event of
Well,
the evening.
your either your co-main event or your actual main event, depending on which
I'm
one you
doing
go for.
5. I'm gonna act like I'm Triple H. I'm gonna do 5. So if you guys are gonna do a 6, then I guess when it's my turn, I'll do my kickoff match. But my main event of the evening, I got the men's elimination chamber. The winner faces CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 41. I have John Cena versus Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn versus Gunther versus Finn Balor. And the winner of that match, Seth frickin' Rollins.
I love that. Okay, Wolf, is this your final match or your co-main event?
I will say co-main event.
Okay, okay,
I
Okay, I gotta
I
think of a kickoff
wanted
match.
to. All right, I'm gonna I kind of really want to play off the. Okay, no, I'm gonna take it simple. I'm gonna say, uh, for the. Oh shoot! Hold on, I blanked. Hold on. Uh. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say. Uh, regarding Bloodline, it will be. mm, Sami Zayn versus Jacob Fatu.
Okay.
okay. So my co-main event is for the WWE Championship. We have Cody Rhodes defending against the Apex Predator, the Viper, Randy Orton. I
Oh,
think
you're
this is gonna
having
be
that
very,
at Elimination Chamber.
yeah. I think why not set up some intriguing things? I know people are gonna be saying, well, if I what I'm about to say is gonna shock some people. We're gonna have a really compelling match, but Rowan Randy, he's gonna go low like he always does when he's a heel. When the ref is not looking, low blow, punt kick, RKO, 1, 2, 3, and
Wow.
new WWE champion Randy Orton, and Cody gets his rematch at WrestleMania because I don't think Roman or Rock is going to have anything to do with the WWE Championship this year. I think they're going to have their own different thing. And then
Yeah.
maybe you can have these two of Randy and Cody co-main eventing WrestleMania, whatever night they decide to choose. So that's what I'm going to go with. And new champion, Randy Orton, as a shock that
That
people don't see
that
coming.
that is bold. That is really bold. So that means this is going to be my kickoff match. My kickoff match for the women's tag team championships. I have Pure Fusion Collective as the champions going in
Okay.
against Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson.
I like that.
Okay.
Okay, Wolf, this is going to be your main events. So, what will be main eventing the show?
Okay, I'm going to take it slow. Very, very slow. I am going to say uh, men's elimination chamber match. Winner faces world heavyweight champion Gunther at WrestleMania. I am going to say John Cena, CM Punk, Seth freaking Rollins,
Jeez.
Bronson Reed, um,
Two more.
two more, right? I'll go. I'll take some guys from the Blue Brand, but very hopeful, very wishful thinking, hoping he'll be back from injury, even though he probably won't be. AJ Styles.
Ooh, I love that.
This is great.
And I would say sorry, I'm thinking real hard about this. There's like three people I have in mind, and one
I
is
already
like
got.
really wishful thinking. One is
I got my six, and it's a good lineup. I'm not gonna lie.
so like my ideas are one for this last person. Four people actually. One is very biased, very wishful thinking. Is like he's not going to get a win for sure, but it would be cool.
Who is that?
Andrade. Um,
Yeah, he ain't gonna be in there.
He ain't when
the
he might be the first one out.
second person,
That lineup.
the second person would be very reasonable, and probably very likely to get screwed.
McIntyre.
Which is no. Actually no. I was gonna say Kevin.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I was also thinking,
Randy or Cody.
for the guy that like, it's probably not gonna be believable, but it gives him something to do because he's been off TV for God knows how long. Shinsuke.
Yeah, I was really thinking Shinsuke for
And then the
maybe
last
Yats title.
person is the make everyone want to kill themselves, which is Goldberg. But I just realized, because of the fact that I do believe that he's going to end up losing the title that he once held, that last person instead I am going to say will be LA Knight.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the
Who wins?
winner would be process of elimination. Take out Seth. Take out Punk. Take out AJ.
You take out Bronson.
Take out Bronson unless they turn him face, which I doubt. So that leaves Knight and Cena.
So that'd be Cena.
Yeah, I would probably say Cena. Yeah. Although, would we complain if we get Gunther versus LA Knight?
No, I wouldn't.
Because
I wouldn't
that
complain.
NXT was really good.
Yeah, Mania Gunther versus LA Knight. Hell yes.
That wouldn't be too bad. I feel like maybe people on Twitter would complain about it, but the general
it's
fan
Twitter.
base wouldn't.
They don't. There's always gonna be something to complain about, even if it's shitty.
Yeah.
But
Well,
the thing
even
is,
if Punk wins, though,
retirement tour, it's probably gonna be Cena because
yeah, they're gonna want Cena to probably go.
Cena will at least be in the chamber, and if he's in the chamber, it's gonna be hard seeing him losing. Um,
True.
the only thing I am not shoot, I don't know, cause like I don't know what we'd give Cena otherwise if it's not Gunther, because apparently Logan
About what
Paul
he-
is on a 2-year paternity leave from WWE.
Well, I don't
I
know.
don't
Maybe he
believe
might
that.
be playing that up as a heel because he is on the poster.
Oh, I did Cena versus
Maybe.
Gunther non-title. That's right.
Right. So I do think. Well, I think yeah. I'll say Gunther Cena for the title at WrestleMania. I have Punk versus Rollins. Just they're in the chamber. They're gonna be going after each other. Um,
Yeah, that's fair.
and then yeah, we have LA Knight doing who knows what.
You're doing God knows
Okay.
what. Probably a U.S. ladder match.
Maybe we'll
If
see.
they do it. If they do it.
Well, my main event is the men's elimination chamber with the winner facing Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. We have John Cena versus Finn Balor, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Seth freaking Rollins, and a person that people hate but I love, Dirty Dominic Mysterio.
He's gonna be the first man out.
Oh no,
My
no, no,
man's
not
gonna
in my
get
storyline.
listen.
He Dirty Dominic Mysterio being trying to be the dirtiest player in the game. He is gonna pick his spots wisely. He's gonna let these other guys go at it. And in the end, it comes down to John Cena and none other than Dominic Mysterio as the final two, because I think Drew McIntyre and CM Punk are probably going to have their little thing going, but you're also going to be building up Seth Rollins versus CM Punk for Mania. So that's one of the things that I have going on. You're probably going to have Finn Balor do something to Drew, maybe setting something up, because I do see him potentially turning face very, very soon. So maybe you can do something there with those two. I think that match between Finn Balor and Drew could be really good. So you're setting up
Yeah.
different matches for WrestleMania. And it comes down to John Cena and Dirty Dominic Mysterio. And it looks like there's a couple near falls where Dominic goes for the splash from the pod to John Cena for a close kick out. And then the crowd is going ballistic with the idea of Dominic about to win. Dominic goes for it one more time for the splash from the pod one more time, and John Cena fashion, it turns, he rolls him up and hits him with AA, and then proceeds to take him up to the top of the top rope for a avalanche AA for the 1, the 2, and the 3. And John Cena wins the Elimination Chamber and goes on to WrestleMania 41 to compete against Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship.
That's not bad at all.
Because if you have Dominic in there with some big stars like that, you're helping him in the long run, getting him more accustomed to what the main event scene is going to look like for him. You're putting him with some big names that he can work with and potentially get better at, honestly, and stuff like that. And you have him be the runner up. You could definitely tell a compelling story for that. Maybe you have
Even
John
having
Cena
him
and
in with Balor could really do like a little bit of a team up
yes,
aspect.
and then you can potentially set up a John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio match. Maybe if John Cena wins the world title at Mania, you can have Dominic be the first challenger. I
Yeah,
think that'd be a compelling story. So
it'd be good for a
that's one
Raw
way to
after
go with it.
Mania or something, or a Backlash.
Oh, absolutely. Like he
Yeah,
does an open challenge, and that's
he does an
Dominic.
open challenge, and Dominic's like, "Hey, man, I didn't forget what you did at the Chamber."
Yeah. So those are our elimination chamber predictions, and those were our crown jewel predictions. Comment down below your crown jewel predictions in the comment section down below. And what matches do you think are going to take place at Elimination Chamber this coming year? I would love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section down below. We're on the road to 50 subscribers, but that's the ultimate goal we're trying to get to. Let's get to 50 by the end of the year. I know we can do it. But Wooly, do you have anything to share? Wolf, do you have anything to share if we head out?
No.
While me and Wolf did our Money in the Bank pay-per-view in our universe mode, It was a bit of a wicked pay-per-view, I will say. In our Universe mode, be sure to check it out. Next Universe mode episode will be our first Raw on Netflix. I got a Raw on Netflix Arena, so I'm just gonna be like, hey, it's on Netflix now. So we're gonna do that. I also did a couple of quiz videos on my channel. A special Halloween episode, I did every wrestler to compete inside Hell in a Cell. So I try to guess every wrestler who competed in a Hell in a Cell match. So I actually did pretty close. I only got 2 wrong.
Well,
So
that's
yeah,
really good.
that's all I got. Yeah.
So, also, I will be streaming SmackDown tomorrow, you guys. So definitely be on the lookout for that tomorrow, and we'll also be doing Crown Jewel on Saturday. So both of those streams are gonna be coming back to back. So you guys stay tuned for that. Go subscribe to Willie. Go subscribe to Wolf, and what they're doing with the universe mode stuff and everything like that. But from myself, Willie, Wolf, hope everybody has a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week into the weekend, and more content will be on the way very, very soon. But with that being said, too sweet, hearty handshake, and we are